Nintendo is hiring a new level designer for the Legend of Zelda series, and we here at Switchforce wonder if this means another game is closer than we may have initially thought. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach of Switchforce. Gabe is here, and let's get the facts out first. Nintendo is hiring a level designer for the Legend of Zelda series who will create events, dungeons, fields, and enemies, and help take them from design to actual implementation. They should have game planner experience on console games and can communicate in Japanese. Now, we know that the direct sequel to Breath of the Wild is years down the line, but this does make me wonder if maybe there is a midterm Zelda lurking in our midst.
Well, there usually is, and also just because your phrasing was a little bit weird, we're not saying that Breath of the Wild is going to get a direct sequel. We're just talking about the next big Zelda game. So
yes, the follow-up to Breath of the Wild,
yeah,
which
because you said direct
could be
sequel,
in that universe.
Huh?
Or it could not be.
Yeah,
it could be in that universe. It could not be. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, but smaller Zelda games are always a thing in between these bigger ones, and honestly, those are some of my favorite Zelda games. You know how much I love A Link to the Past. I haven't been able to play it because of my 3DS situation, but Link Between Worlds is a game that I hear is absolutely amazing. So many of those games still perform very well for them. I wondered at first when I first heard about this if it was hey, 3DS is still around, maybe they're just doing something for that. But they do put emphasis on the fact that it's a console game, right? I mean, it says it in the job description.
Right, which is the most interesting piece of this puzzle to me. And now, granted, this could just be them filling out the team for whatever comes next. They're obviously always brainstorming and working on this franchise as it is tentpole for Nintendo and for the gaming industry as a whole. But when they directly mention console games and that they are looking for this designer here in early 2018, what could they be up to? And as you pointed out, these in-between Zelda games are beloved. The difference is they're usually always on the handheld platform. So is it possible that Nintendo decides to bring their, quote, in-between Zelda to Switch this time around? And would that be maybe another top-down in the same vein as A Link Between Worlds? Or would they do something just with a different graphical style that is better suited for a console experience? Obviously, we have no idea, but where do you think they could go with this?
Well, that's my hope. My hope is that they're doing a smaller adventure, just scale-wise, and put that on Switch. I've been an advocate of smaller games with Nintendo's bring big franchises on Switch for less money. I think that would be very, very cool. We have zero indication that they're ever going to do that. But if they do a Zelda game that is more akin to anything we've seen on the handheld platforms and just put that on Switch, I think that could be really, really cool, especially given the capabilities of the Switch. We saw Spare Tracks and other games do very cool stuff with stylus controls. I say very cool to varying degrees. Some people didn't like that at all. But maybe trying to figure out something special on the Switch, not a gimmick per se, but for a lack of a better term, a gimmick, and emphasize that on a smaller Zelda adventure. I think that could be really cool. That's what I hope is happening.
I definitely don't think we get a $40 Switch game, but I could see them incorporating elements or even the entirety of what made Link Between Worlds successful onto Switch. There's no reason that a top-down Zelda cannot exist on a console. That's not something that is just, impossible. A few people had questioned maybe this is Breath of the Wild DLC, but they have specifically stated there's no more Breath of the Wild DLC. The other theory is a mobile title, which it does say console, but that's just where they want the experience. That's not necessarily indicating where this game will end up. And the success of Fire Emblem Heroes, the Animal Crossing title, Mario Run, the impending and upcoming Mario Kart title, Zelda on mobile seems like it's just a few financial calls away.
Yeah, clearly I hope that's not the case. But, another thing I wanted to mention, though, is that this is completely normal, right? They start work on the next Zelda as soon as, they're done with this other one. This isn't... Yes. I don't think this means that we're getting Zelda any sooner than we were. It's still going to be a few years at the very least. So, maybe more time. Who knows? We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I really hope it's not a mobile game. That would crush me. Avengers crushed everyone else.
You can apply if you would like. You can do it yourself. It's geared towards people already living in Japan. But hey, they pay a housing allowance. No alliances here, Gabe. Don't. This is not Jim and Dwight. Housing allowance, a moving allowance, daily transportation fees, and a salary between $34,766 and $74,107, depending on the successful applicant's experience and ability. So that is a $40,000 range, depending on how talented and experienced you are.
Wait, how talented am I? I'm not experienced at all.
I think you're pretty talented, so I would at least put you in the 50K range on merit alone. But let us know what you think. Again, I think the takeaway here is, hey, they are beefing up their Zelda squad. Could it be for a midterm game? Possibly. Could it just be for the future in general? Maybe they just need to fill the ranks. Could it be mobile? That seems like a plausible option as well. But we'd love to see more of Link on the Switch in any capacity. Really, let us know your take in the comments down below. And if you're applying, please let us know. I hope that one person out there watching these videos is actually applying. That would be so rad. But in the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Fantastic day. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch, and whatever Zelda this eventually becomes, we'll have you covered. Follow us on Twitter and Discord, links in the description below. And for myself and Gabe, have a great day. Switch Force out.